This simple tool has helped countless med spa owners hit their monthly revenue goals with clarity and confidence. If you've ever felt overwhelmed trying to figure out how to reach your financial targets for the month, then this video is definitely for you. By the end, you'll know exactly how to reverse engineer your med spa's goals and how to ensure that you hit those numbers each month. I'm Rashawn R. I've helped over 50 med spa owners in North America scale to over $50,000 per month. And in the past year, I even helped a med spa owner sell their business for multiple millions of dollars. I'm going to reveal to you the exact goal tracker we use for that business and other med spa owners in our program to ensure they hit their revenue goals each month. Not only that, but at the end, I'll show you how to get more support on actually hitting those numbers each month. But for now, let's jump into the goal tracker. All right, guys. So first, let's talk about the gap. All right. Now, on one side, you guys have what you probably are familiar with, which is the stuck med spa owner. What does this look like? All right, I want to talk about bridging the gap between being a stuck med spa owner and someone who does consistent monthly growth in their business and who's absolutely crushing it. Now, some of these traits that may sound familiar to you, you may be saying things like, I feel like I'm working so hard, but I still can't predict my income each month. I have no idea how many leads I need to hit my revenue goals. It's like I'm guessing all the time. Every month feels like starting from scratch. I'm terrified I won't make enough to cover expenses. These are some of the things that the stuck med spa owner says, okay? Now, guys, how do we bridge this gap? And when we do bridge this gap, what is the med spa owner who's crushing it saying? I know exactly how many leads, bookings, sales I need to hit my profit goals. Every month I see steady growth and know my numbers are trending in the right direction. I feel in control of my business and excited about scaling to new heights. All right. Now, guys, I'm going to walk you through a little bit of a case study before we jump into the goal tracker. This goal tracker is going to change the game for you guys. I want to show you guys how it changed the game for someone else in our MediLaunch program. What I'm going to teach you guys is what are the key performance indicators you need to be tracking in your business, and what standard do you need to hold in order to spend $4,000 on Facebook ads and make $32,000 cash collected. That's an 8x return on investment. I know a lot of you guys are not seeing that return on investment in your marketing campaigns, and we're going to break down why. Don't worry, we're going to get there soon, but I want to show you these are what the numbers look like when you do properly set targets and actually align your business's efforts with those targets. You can go from spending $4,000 to making $32,000, just like one of our clients, Monica, who did an 8x return on investment within the first 3 months in our program. Just incredible. All right. I don't want to brag too much about our clients. Let's jump into how she was able to do that. I'll show you guys the goal tracker. All right. So guys, don't worry. You are going to get access to the sheet. Let me start breaking things down. I'm going to do this as fast as possible because I know you guys need to go out and execute right after you see this. So this sheet's going to do a couple things. The first thing it's going to do is ask you for your current KPIs. So there's a couple KPIs I want to go over. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. These are the 6 KPIs that you're really going to need in order to reverse engineer your goals. Okay. So KPI number 1 is new lead to booking rate. So when you get, 10 new leads, how many of those actually book an appointment? Appointment show rate. Out of 10 appointments booked, how many people actually show? Appointment close rate. Out of 10 appointments that show up, how many of them actually close? And then when they do close, what's the average sale value? Are you selling everyone for $100 or are you selling everyone for $1,000? What's the average lead cost in your marketing campaigns? What type of lead costs are you getting? On average, we want about $12, maybe about $15, $16 is still profitable. But if we can get to $12, we are great. And the next thing we're going to talk about is our current revenue, which is going to be $20,000. Let's just use an example of, hey, I'm at $20,000 a month. I want to get to $30,000 a month. How do I do that in the next 30 days? Okay. Now you should have these numbers. If you don't have these numbers, just use the averages. The average would be about a 30% booking rate. You should be able to book at 30%. You should be able to get appointments to show at 70%. You should be able to close 7 out of 10 people walking in the door. Average sale value of $600, $12 lead cost. And it doesn't matter what your current revenue is. We can even use $10,000 as a current revenue for the people who are a little smaller watching this video. Now, if your numbers are off here and you're like, hey, how are these the averages? My numbers are way off. That means you definitely need coaching, consulting, or some type of growth infrastructure in your business to improve upon the numbers, because no matter how much planning goes into this, if you can't hit these numbers, then you're going to make your life a lot harder. Okay, so let's assume you are with the rest of the Metspa owners and you are hitting these numbers. Let's talk about what it looks like after that. Now, I have another card here. All right, you'll notice you can hide and show things. I have another card here talking about growth rates. Now, a lot of people will look at goals and say, hey, like, how do I go from 10K to 100K? And they're only thinking at it 30 days at a time. Now, what you want to do is oftentimes you want to look at it by quarter. You want to look at it by yearly. Now, don't worry, I'm going to teach you how to go from 10K to 30K in 1 month. I'll teach you that. But you do want to start looking at sustainable revenue growth over a 12-month period. So what I've done for here is I've shown you guys, hey, what does it look like to grow your clinic month after month by 2 to 5%, 6 to 10%, 11 to 20%, 21% and above. I've categorized each percentage as, slow growth, moderate growth, fast growth, and then rapid growth, which would be 21% or more month on month growth. That's really rapid growth. So let's just say, hey, like, I want to grow my clinic at moderate growth at about 10% month on month. Meaning if you start January at 10,000, the next month you be gaining $1,000 on your recurrent revenue, so on, so on, so on. That's about a 10% growth. I would say that's moderate growth. Now, if you wanted to do fast growth, you would jump that to about 20%. So if you guys change the number to 20%, you'll notice that that's about a 20% growth. Now, we would call 20% fast growth, right? You want to actively scale operations and get aggressive about revenue and profit. As you can see, month one, you're at 10K. The next month with 20%, you're at 12K, 14K, almost 18K, 20K. You can see by the end, if you're hitting your goals each month and you're consistently growing, you should be at about 74K at the end of the 12 months. Now starting the year at 10K a month, all right? So this is pretty awesome growth. All right, so this is just a little card here. You don't have to use this, but if you're like, hey, like based on month growth, I want to scale rapidly, really fast, really slow. You can kind of map this out over the 12 months. Okay, that's a cool little feature on this spreadsheet here. All right, let's get to the meat and potatoes of what everyone wants to see. How do I go from 10K and recurrent revenue? And by the way, guys, this 10K is being pulled from your current revenue target. So if you told me your revenue target was 20K over here, it's going to update it to be 20K here. Okay. Just to let you know, that's where we're pulling this from. And all of the rest of the calculations here, as you can see, are based on division of where your current KPIs are, which is why I said you need to know your current KPIs, or you need to use industry averages in order to make this work. How do I go from 10K to 30K in the next 30 days guaranteed? By the way, guys, I'm going to show you how to do that with an 11x return on revenue generated. Okay. So what you would need is, what you have here is a 30K goal. You have a 10K, current recurrent revenue, meaning you have a 20K gap. You can see the math is being done for you. You guys don't have to do that math. All you need to do is punch in your target revenue here, right? You can say 50K, and it's going to change the metrics you need to hit in order to hit that 50K. All right. So let's just, like I said, let's go 30K. It's a 20K gap, meaning you guys need to close 33 clients at an average sale value of 600. You need to get 48 people showing up. You need to get 68 people booked, which means you need 227 leads, and you need to spend about $2,700 in ads. Okay. These numbers, remember, all of these numbers are being pulled from the KPIs that we've set based on where we typically fall or where the average industry med spa falls. Okay. So if you are not a 30% booker, like you have a terrible receptionist and you have a terrible appointment setter, maybe you're a 15% booker. You now need to spend $5,000 in order to close that 20K gap because you are a 15% booker. But if you can raise your booking rate from 15% to 25%, you now need to spend $3K on ads to make $30,000, which is a 9x return on investment. Pretty incredible, guys. All right. So let's be modest. Let's say you're a 20% booker. Let's say you don't close appointments at 70%, you close it at 60%. You can spend $4,700 in ads, generate 396 leads, get 79 people to book based on your 20% booking rate, get 56 people to show up based on your 70% show rate, and close 33 people out of the 56 based on your 60% close rate. And that's going to help you close that gap of, 10 to 30K, right? This is it, guys. Punch in your KPIs, punch in your goal revenue, right? Your target revenue, and the math will be done for you. Now, what's cool is column K is going to tell you what you need to do on a monthly basis. So you could tell your team, hey guys, these are the KPIs we set. These are the metrics. You need to hit them so that we can go from 10 to 30K. Column L is going to tell you where you need to be on a weekly basis, right? And then column M is going to tell you what you need to be on a daily basis. So guys, if you're trying to go from 10K to 30K per month, right, and close a 20K gap, there is no way that you can spend $35 a day on ads. There's no way that you can spend $50 a day on ads. You need to spend $150 per day on ads in order to go from 10K to 30K a month. The math. Guys, once you start taking feelings out of it, it's no longer, I'll just spend the bare minimum of $35 or I'll just spend the bare minimum of $50. Now you're spending money based on the goals that you set for the business. This is very important. This is what big 7-figure businesses do. This is how, when I first launched my business, I went from 0 to 40K per month within the first 3 months of launching my business. Because I said, hey, these are my KPIs, these are my metrics, and this is what I need to hit. And I just followed the numbers. And I've been doing that ever since to run a very successful business and help multiple med spa owners across North America do the same thing. Hundreds of case studies based on this same logic. Okay. Now, this is really cool. And I'm going to give you guys one more cool tool, which is a profit goal tracker. Now, you need to know your numbers for your finance data in order to make this sheet work. So essentially what we're saying here is, hey, based on my net profit margin or based on my gross profit margin and the amount of money I spend on expenses on average each month, you need to know these things. Your bookkeeper should be able to tell you your net profit margin. Let's say you spend 20 grand, 27 grand a month on average for all your expenses. What you're going to do is you say, hey, me as a CEO, what's the amount of money that I want to take home each month? In my example, I'll use CEO take home of Med Spa A. She wants to take home $20,000 per month. This is enough money for her to do whatever she needs to do and replace her job in the hospital. Okay. $20,000 per month take home. Now, this is cool. What's cool about this sheet is it's going to tell you how much money does the business need to generate at X amount of profit margins in order for me to take home $20,000 per month. Well, you need to generate $66,000 every single month at a 30% net profit margin rate in order for you to take home 20K. And what's cool about the sheet is it's going to tell you how much revenue is remaining for the business after you take home your money. So you have $66,000, you take home $20,000, you know you got to spend $27,000 on average on expenses. The business is still going to net $20,000 or $19,000 to be specific in its bank account each month, which is pretty cool, right? By identifying the exact numbers you need, leads, consultations, sales, you guys are going to go from chaos to clarity, consistently hitting revenue goals month after month. And guys, the best part about it is you can access this tracker for free. Just follow us on our MediLaunch Instagram and DM us the word goal tracker, and I will personally send it your way. But here's the real magic, guys. Our clients inside of the MediLaunch Mastermind don't just get this goal tracker. They'll also get all of the good stuff needed to actually hit these numbers that you're seeing on the screen. They're going to get personalized support, proven strategies, and the system you need to help you hit these numbers with confidence. All right. So remember, success starts with clarity, but it doesn't stop there. Tools like the goal tracker will help you see the numbers, but our MediLaunch system ensures you actually hit the numbers. So if you're ready to finally close the gap this year and finally hit the profits that you've been wanting to hit in your med spa, let's make it happen, guys. Send us a DM on Instagram or click the link in the bio on this video. I'm sure there'll be a link somewhere to book a call with, someone on our team so that we can get you taken care of. And of course, if you're already inside of our Medi Launch program. You guys know where to find me on the coaching call so that we can break this down for your business specifically and you can crush your competition. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and DM Goal Tracker to get started. I'll see you guys in the DMs.